Hello, I'm Vicky. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm doing an unboxing and swatching out of some Mont premium acrylic inks. Now I purchased this 12-piece set in Australia and it was 35 Australian dollars. The colours are white, cadmium yellow, orange, scarlet, bright green, sap green, teal, phthalo blue, violet, yellow ochre, burnt umber, and black. And I thought they were a great deal. For $35 for 12 acrylic inks, I thought that was a steal, so I picked them up. Now I'm going to first of all take them out of their packaging. And this is what I do whenever I buy new art supplies. I'm very big on swatching as soon as you get your supplies, so they don't just sit in the cupboard unused. So I'm putting them on a nice pottery dish at the moment. And I'm going to show you my swatch book. I've brought this out before. This is a swatch book where I put all my messy swatching. So the first time I use my supplies, the first thing I do is take them out of their packaging and swatch them out in my messy swatch book. Even things like my journals I keep in here, all the things that come with the art supplies. So if there are little colour codes or whatever, I can put in there as well. I'll stick that in with some glue. I've swatched out my Daniel Smith paints in here when I first got them. And that just takes away some of that sense of awe that you have when you get really nice supplies. This swatch book is by Ranger. And these little bulldog clips I picked up at Kmart. I think they're adorable too. And I'm just going to use them to keep my journal flat while I work. Now I'm going to write down the name of the supplies, Mont Premium Acrylic Ink 12-piece, which is what's on the box, so that if anybody asks me what it is, I'll remember. Then I'm going to start swatching out the inks. These are in little plastic bottles, which is great. They're not too heavy. The first colour is phthalo blue. So I'm just putting a dot on with a dropper, and I'm going to get a little bit of water on my brush, spread it out for you so you can see how that is. It's quite a dry brush at the moment because I've just started using it. Phthalo blue. So I'm going to clean off my brush in some clear water and get out my next colour, which is black. Now I have a little bit too much water on my brush here, which has made it more of a grey colour, so I'm going to add a little bit more of that pigment in the ink and wipe my brush a little so it's not quite so wet. And then we have that nice clear black. So these inks are very vibrant and they're really nice to work with. The next colour is Scarlet, which is a beautiful vibrant red. Just one drop, and you can see how using that pipette inside the bottle means that you get a really accurate amount of ink each time. The next colour is yellow ochre, and this is a really nice colour. I can see myself using this in some botanicals. That would make a lovely flower centre, that yellow ochre. This one is very vivid. This is bright green, and I'm not sure I'm a fan of that colour. It's just a little bit too bright for me, but I'll have a play with it and see where I can use it, but that's bright green. The next green is much more my style. It's sap green. And that's a really good colour to have in your collection. The next colour is cadmium yellow. That's a really nice colour. I like cad yellow. It's very versatile. And the next colour is teal, which is a really nice blue-green colour. You can see as I add the water, you can see the greenish shades coming out. It's really pretty. The next one is burnt umber. Again, this is a very versatile colour to have in your kit. And the next colour is white. Now this journal is sort of an off-white, so it's not going to show up very much at all. But I am going to do some swatching on black paper in a moment, and you'll see how the colours show up on black. White's also great for mixing, so I'll bring some of this black paper in a moment when I finish doing my first lot of swatching, and we'll swatch again on black. Next colour is violet. And this is really pretty. It reminds me of Rose of Ultramarine, which is a Daniel Smith colour. Really beautiful colour. Violet. And the final colour in the set is orange. And it's a really cheerful orange. Very vibrant. A really nice colour. So there's your 12 inks mixed on white paper, or just slightly off white paper in this Ranger journal. And now what I like to do is bring in the black and swatch everything out on black. So I'm going to start with phthalo blue. And it's quite vivid as a spot on the paper, but I'm actually giving it a little bit of ground to lie on so that I can get a little bit of depth. So I'm just putting a little bit of water on my brush and making a rectangular swatch. I'm going to come back when that's a bit dry and add the drops on top, because I think that's the best way to get an idea of how this performs on black paper. So we're coming in with black next, and scarlet. And you can see the paint's still drying there, or the ink is still drying because it has a little bit of water in with it. And I'm going to come over these and intensify them a little bit so you can see them much more clearly. And here's my yellow ochre. And put that dot in the centre. And when I put that dot in the centre, you can actually see the colours. And that's just provided a little bit of ground for them so that they weren't going to absorb straight into the black. So you can see the colours much clearer there. Okay, so this is the bright green. And I'm just using a Posca marker to write the names on in white. And the next is sap green. And cadmium yellow. And it's got an air bubble in. I'll just give that a few little dots to get that air bubble out. Next is teal. Now I'm bringing in the burnt umber. And the white, and this is what I'm really excited about seeing on the black, because I think this will show up quite nicely. So give it a bit of grounding first with a bit of water, and then the white in the centre. And as you can see, it shows up really well. Next is violet. And lastly, orange. And I'm going to set these aside. They will take some time to dry because I'm putting them on at full mass tone or full intensity, and that will take a little while to dry, so I'll put them aside. So here's my white swatching on the white paper. You can see how the inks are quite vibrant. I'm really enjoying the way they lay down on the paper. And I'll give you a close-up of how they look on the black. You can see they're still wet and they'll take some time to dry. So I'll put them somewhere sunny so they dry completely. Now the next thing I usually do when I'm doing swatching is I will take whatever information I can find on the packaging and just quickly write it into my journal. So these are water resistant acrylic based ink. That's the first thing I want to write in. You can dilute with water to create transparent washes. So that's being written in as well. The pipette allows for precise, mess-free application. They are easily blendable, clean colour mixing. They can be used on paper, card and canvas. And they are compatible with pouring medium. So I have that information at hand. When I open my swatch book, I can see what the product is called. I can see the properties of what I can do with this medium. And that is very helpful for me to get started and also to loosen up, because the first time I've used these inks has just been a simple exercise. It hasn't been a painting. So when I use them in a painting or in a mixed media piece, then I have the confidence to know what they look like and how they lay down on different papers. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you got some information that was helpful from this video. I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye for now.